Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, listen, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on Sunday. I sent you, or some of you guys, I'm going to resend it to those who did not get a chance, where I talked about your 20 characteristics of your client. Now, this is very important. In fact, let me tell you something. One of the things that I see with many authors is they never take the time to plan who their reader is. And so I always like to share this story of when I used to be in the space of trying to be an actress, right? And so I went to Los Angeles for an entire month to take this international studies course. The lady, I'll never forget her name, Margie Haber. And in this program, I really realized that acting was not something I wanted to do. Honey, acting was very difficult. It was hard for you, girl. But I learned I didn't want to do it. But in this course, I walked away with something really valuable. See, when you practice, like scenes, they call it sides or something like that, right? And so we would get sides to go practice the scene. And one of the things she taught us is she was like, visualize what that person was going through right before the scene happened. I want you to think about what they're wearing. I want you to think about if they smoke, if they drink. I want you to think about if they were crying, if they were listening to rap music, gospel music, if they only like to drink Kool-Aid. I want you to really figure out who this person was before you actually start this scene. Because the more that you can connect with them, the more you can make this scene real. And so I've been able to actually apply that to what I do now in business. And this is where I talk about the 20 characteristics. Now, a lot of people have a big challenge with figuring out, well, I don't know who's going to read my book. Well, let me tell you who's going to read your book. Probably somebody like you. Let's start off with that. More than likely, it's going to be somebody like you. And it's easier for people to relate to people that they see themselves like. Most of the people who actually follow me tend to see themselves in me, right? In some way, shape, form, or another. The only difference outside of them seeing themselves in me is that I actually have a specific result that this book can help them with. And so in the how-to space, I want you to think about it like that. Now, even outside of the how-to space, think about Harry Potter. That's a particular type of person. The people that love Harry Potter books, that dress up for Harry Potter movies to come out, and they buy all of the merch and stuff like that, they probably listen to a specific kind of music. They're a specific kind of age. They do specific type of things as far as careers. A lot of times they relate, okay? And so I want to challenge you to pick one characteristic per thing. Now, why are we doing this? Because when it's time to start marketing your book, okay? When it's time to start marketing your book, you want to make sure that when you market your book on social media, you're talking to the person. Have y'all ever been to an event, or maybe you went to church and you said, oh, Pastor was talking to me. Pastor was talking to me. Yes, because Pastor knows who his audience is, right? Well, I need you to know who your audience is, because when you're doing this marketing, you're actually going to be able to speak directly to that one person. And let me tell you something. For those of you who are afraid to niche your audience down, there are 7 billion people in this world. Millions of people who fit your actual characteristic, your age, your nationality, what music you listen to, the way you dress. There is somebody out there, millions of people that are just like you. They're just looking to achieve the one thing that book is going to help them to achieve. Whether it's a story, whether it's a how-to, whether it's a journal, there's a specific thing. And now when you can identify with them through your social media marketing, it makes you that much more valuable. Actually, I learned these 20 characteristics from David Shands, Sleep is for Suckers. He has the content creation boot camp. I said boot camp. I do boot camps. But he has the content creation boot camp that he does in Atlanta once a month. And I learned this from him. I'm going to tell you. I invested into that event. It was an amazing event. When he went over, and he actually has 21, but I couldn't remember one of them, so that's why I do 20. But he does the 21. When I tell you, from that entire event, that was my biggest aha, because I pay attention to the stuff that I post on social media that has the most response. And it's not always just only about business, but it's when I make myself relatable to my specific ideal reader. And so you got to know who that person is. I want you to visualize, like, what would their name be? Make it up. Is their name going to be a little bit more ratchet, or is it going to be a little bit more classic, right? Y'all know ratchet, classic. Okay, y'all know what I'm saying, right? So you got to figure out who this is. What's their age? Not between, the specific age. Because listen, the challenges that an 18-year-old has is not the same of a 25-year-old. The challenges of a 30-year-old is not the same of a 50-year-old. The challenges of a 1-year-old is not the same. Well, 1-year-olds probably ain't reading books, but you know what I'm trying to say. Elementary kids do not have the same challenges that middle school kids have. And so when you can specifically narrow it down to an age, when you can specifically narrow it down to a type of music, when you know what kind of music do they listen to? What do they drink, wine, or do they drink liquor, or do they not drink at all? Are they vegan, or are they sometime vegan, or do they love some good meat, some good pepperoni pizza, right? Because if you want to connect to vegans and you get up on your social media with your pepperoni meat lovers, you might turn them off. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? So you got to figure out the characteristics of your ideal reader. And I've given those of you who are enrolled into the Book Profits Mastermind, I gave you guys 20 specific characteristics. I want you guys to work on that, because during the Book Profits Mastermind, we're actually going to review that with some of the individuals within the event. Okay, so we're going to break out into sessions, and I want you guys to be able to tell everybody who your ideal reader is going to be. All right. So anyway, I want to shout out my boy David Shands as well as Margie Haber, because you guys really, really helped me in this. Because one thing that I always want to continuously do is go and first of all, I'm always investing in myself, but I always want to be able to take the value and apply it to authors. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. For those of you who are registered for the Book Profits Mastermind, I cannot wait to see you guys on Sunday, August the 8th. And if it's after August the 8th, but this was still valuable and you still want to attend another Book Profits Mastermind event, all you got to do is go to bookprofitsmastermind.com. Deuces.